Finally, we're here, guys.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Dap it up.
Yes.
We did it. 5 years of hard work. 5 years of ups and downs.
Oh yeah, man.
5 years of trials and tribulations.
Oh boy, the journey.
The journey. But for me, it started 15 years ago. I think this entire journey, to have a premonition, to have a vision, to have a dream. So when I first wrote Hip Hop Decoded, I wanted to start a company, because remember, I thought this would be the only book I would write due to the new health information I was finding out that I was struggling with.
That's right.
Kidney failure and all that. So I wanted this book to be my lasting legacy. But I also wanted to start a family business, a company. But you were 11 at the time.
Yeah, I was not thinking about.
None of that. Marcus was 17, but he was on his way to college.
Yeah.
Eli was 5 and Odyssey was 3.
Yeah.
And but when I sat down with the Queen, I said, listen, I want to name this company, Momi Publishing for Marcus, Odyssey, Malcolm, and Eli. And then I said phonetically, it sounds like mommy.
Right.
And then if you spell it backwards, it's Imam, which is the man in the family. So, that began the journey. And then what I did was I wrote in your book, there's a writer inside of you, let him out.
Yeah.
And then the next 10 years go by, everyone is on their journey, you going to college, you playing football, you're doing this and that. And then you got out into the real world.
Yeah. I was working at Bloomingdale's like my senior year in high school, my senior year in college, and I would run into like old classmates that had just graduated and stuff like that, and like the job market seemed dying. It seemed like this is not gonna happen, especially in your field. Like you'll get a job, but especially not in your field.
Right, and you took history, and I told you not to take that.
Yeah,
but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
That is.
At first, you said you were going to be a curator.
Yeah, and that sounded
Right?
amazing. That
And
was
I
like.
was like, okay, like what do they do?
Yeah, I wanted to be a museum curator, and
Yeah.
that sounded like a dream job to me, right? I'm a history buff, but then those jobs, like people who have them, they keep those for life. Like,
That's a lifetime position.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lifetime position, so it doesn't really, there's no real turnover there. So then around this time, my senior year was 2015, right? So this time you were putting out your second book,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Urban Culture Decoded, which looked way different, had a purple cover, it didn't have a black cover,
It was crazy.
it looked way different. And I remember just kind of hitting you up. Like I text you, like I was at work and I spoke to somebody like really, really wealthy at my job. Like they were shopping. And then I said, you know what, I don't want to work for anybody. I want to have my own business. And then I was like, oh, my dad, he already started.
Exactly.
He already has like his own business and he's putting out a book.
We were just waiting.
Yes, I was
Yes.
like, Ed, I wanted to put my own book out someday. I wanted to be so it kind of just checked all boxes. Like it was like this is like the perfect moment.
Yeah.
So I text you. I say I don't know what you and T are doing with the business and with your book and how you gonna sell it, but I want in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were just like
I remember
finally.
your initial book was going to be like a sci-fi story. Or
Yeah,
something.
it was gonna be something.
Right.
Not. Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's gonna be something way different. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the journey began.
Right.
Along those times, I started working with Eli. Recognizing that even though he was disabled, he was able in other areas. And he'd sit around and watch ESPN and he'd be arguing with Stephen A. Smith through the TV, you wrong. And then he'd come home and argue with me and start spitting all these facts. So me being who I am, I said, well, let's just start a podcast. Let's showcase and highlight what you can do and don't focus on what it is that you can't do.
Slow up. It was a TV show that you wanted to start.
Yeah, it was. I had cameras
It
everywhere.
was a TV show that you wanted to
Eli
start.
was so overwhelmed.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
He was
Yeah.
like, okay, like what's going on? He froze because it was just him at first.
Yes.
And I remember when we started recording.
Yeah.
And we was like,
He
this
was
is a
like,
bit
this
much.
is
This
not
is a
gonna
lot.
work. Yeah.
He said we're gonna get him his own channel, and it was just like, we don't even know if Eli's up to this yet.
Yeah, so he was overwhelmed, but me being the big dream I was.
Yeah.
So we settled on a podcast.
Yes.
Right.
And we settled on the podcast, and a lot of you guys saw the early work of that podcast. I know y'all saw it.
Oh
We kept experimenting with things. We turned the whole room into a green screen at one point, and this and that. And then one time I had Malcom sit in for me, and it was the worst experience ever. It's like, what up? He got on the mic because listen, these cameras, when you're not used to being on them, you overthink it.
Yeah.
Even though you on a camera every day of your life, living your life, you overthink this thing.
Yeah.
And you kind of froze, but I think you got a taste of what could be.
Yeah.
So what we started doing was, I said, listen, we'll put you behind the camera. You'll ask the questions. I'm the black dot. I already got a little built-in audience of people who've been following me for years, and we'll take advantage of that. When people started finding out you was my son,
Yeah, it took people like a really, really long time.
they said, wait a minute, that's his son interviewing him?
Yeah.
So then it became something where we said, okay, Eli's train is on the track.
Yeah.
Let us come together.
And again, I'm gonna slow it down because I said we had our first team meeting at Harlem Tavern that summer.
Yes,
remember,
we did.
right?
We did.
And we discussed all the different ways we was gonna sell his book, and it was all 2005-ish thinking in 2015.
Yes, true
We
story.
were thinking about like street vendors, local
Yeah.
bookstores.
We're gonna introduce you to everybody
Yeah,
on 125.
Yeah, we're gonna get your book into these people's hands and stuff like that. And then me and you took a walk on 125th.
And there was nobody
There
out
was
there.
nobody out there. There was no book vendor. There was like maybe two.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
whole
the whole
landscape.
They looked like they were struggling.
Yeah, and
The
then
landscape
local
had changed.
bookstores. There was no bookstores around, right? So we had to like get online, and then he made me take a content marketing course, right? And then I started learning about, like just different ways to sell. So I'm like, yo, you should actually do a podcast. And he was like, nah, I'm the black dot. Like, I'm Mystique. Like, I come and I go. Like, I don't, that's too much content for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking, I move, and I'm in and out. All of, and then,
That's true.
I promise you, I'm walking, I was at my mom's. I'm walking to the bank for something, and he calls me. He goes, yo, I just had this bright idea. We should start a podcast. I was like, really? Yeah, I was like, okay. And then all these amazing ideas, but it started out with, then he was like, but you were terrible on Eli's podcast, so we're gonna start you behind the camera. I said, fine. And that's how that started.
And then as you got in front of the camera, again, we had one camera.
Two.
We had two at first?
Two at first, yes.
All right, two cameras.
And I thought that was the flyest
It
thing
was
in
a
the world.
shaky
Yeah, I thought it was
background.
the flyest
Is
thing
that
in
the
the world.
Mevo?
No, not that one.
That was even before the Mevo.
That was before that. We had just two shots, and I thought that would look super professional. Like
Well, we were really big
Right,
on
we started with the two something.
making sure we did something extra.
yeah.
And for the first 50 shows, we were learning our way.
Are you talking about for the podcast?
For the actual YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel, it was It was just straight on and another shot. I was behind the camera,
It was dark.
yeah.
Very
I'm talking about
dark.
now when you got in front of the camera.
Oh yes.
When we were sitting down together
right.
and we were beginning to build that journey, I felt that I needed to overcompensate for the first 50 shows because you were a deer in headlightish, which is to be expected. So that's why the first 50 shows are really outlandish, with my behavior and things of that nature, and me just doing what I normally do, no filter, because that's the school I'm cut from. And then I had to take a step back and realize, guys, this wasn't about me. I was being selfish, not purposely. I was being selfish because I got to think about you, I got to think about the queen, and other people who were looking for vested in ventures. We wasn't even making no money then.
Yeah.
We had no super chat. We didn't do any of that. We was just recording podcasts.
Yeah.
And I kind of got burnt out. The creative side of me got burnt out. I'm like, 50 shows are doing the same things. This is getting a little monotonous for me. So we quit.
Yeah, and I think that like looking back.
That happened in real time.
Yeah.
Looking back, I remember because I felt the same way. I was birthed out too, but we had just ran our first sale,
We
our
started
first Black History Month sale.
Okay.
We started the shop.
We started the shop, and we were still learning the equipment. We didn't quite understand what we were doing.
And we
were figuring everything out on the fly.
Yes.
And you, Mr. Creative, had all these wonderful designs with triple, double
glitter
hit,
and
3 glitter. Remember the RGB?
Bro,
We had to weed each one out.
So one design would take like 15 minutes, and we were getting like hundreds of
and
orders.
were coming in nonstop. I'm working full time.
Yes.
You too.
No, I
You
quit.
left already,
I
right?
left
Yeah.
already,
Now I'm working full time, and come in and would have to just quickly decompress.
Yes.
And get to work. I'm like,
Yeah.
Malcolm, where did you leave off?
Yeah.
Let's do it. And we were exhausted.
And I remember you calling me. And like I think I was just tired as well. He was like, "Yeah, I think we should end the show." I was like, "Yeah, I think so too."
Yeah, it wasn't even a big conversation.
Yeah, I was like, "Bet." Like,
I think
right.
we just kind of felt each other's energy that this was a little, a bit much. And statistics show people don't make it past 6 or
10 episodes.
10 episodes of their
Really?
podcast.
6%
Yeah.
of the podcast
Yeah.
don't make it past 10
Wow.
Because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. And even the reason we even started the t-shirt business is because, we were building this brand from the ground up. We tried to drop ship stuff.
And then
And we was feeling the quality, and we didn't want our name connected to anything that wasn't top notch.
Absolutely.
So I came up with this brilliant idea. We'll invest $30,000 that we don't have on embroidery machines, heat press, printing machines, but I give you guys credit. You guys didn't fold. You guys said, okay, Dad, if you truly do believe in it, because out of the three of us, I'm the forward thinker. And it's my job to kind of see where we need to go. And we didn't know how to work no equipment. That's not my concern.
we didn't even know how we were going to get it inside.
Yeah, we couldn't even
Remember
get
that
in.
box
Yo,
downstairs?
dude.
You gotta saw the embroidery machine.
Ooh.
Yeah, the embroidery machine is like 4,000 pounds. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's an industrial type of machine. It's a heavy.
And it
toy.
came
And they
in
just
like
dropped
a
it. They were
crate.
just like, yo,
Yeah, they just dropped it
Yeah.
on the street. Like, yo, that's
I was
not our
like,
concern.
What?
we got it here. Get it in. We just like, yo.
Yeah, we had to take doors off the hinges,
Yeah.
get it in, turn it to the
So
side.
when you start your own printing company, you
yeah,
don't gotta.
research all of that.
You only gotta get the whole big embroidery machine off the bat.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. My
Because-
problem is I'm a big dreamer, bro.
We could have got the one, like when you go to the mall.
Yeah,
and
we
you
coulda
see them
got that.
making the
We coulda got
hats and the
that.
t-shirts.
Could have got that.
Yeah.
So we started this embroidery business without knowing anything.
Yeah.
And we learned along the way. And I'm only saying that so that you don't allow obstacles to get in the way of what you're doing. Don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to take 2 steps forward to take a step back. And that's what that was.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's order all this stuff, $30,000 shit, and we're going to figure it out. And we did. But in the process, we were getting burnt out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
But
decided,
to our credit, I want to touch on something you mentioned about consistency.
yes,
That was a key part of us having a family business.
Yeah.
right.
Because in the past, we would start things. I'm the executor. I know my role. I'm the one who makes it happen. Just do it. Let's do it. All right, Doc, what we going to do? We might have to scale back.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Me and Malcolm, we do a vote when you sleeping.
Oh, listen, guys. Oh my God.
Yes.
The way to navigate a family business, especially when your partners are married and they sleep together, so you have to
Yes.
think about you got
Pit
to
one against each other.
You gotta
Yeah.
talk to this
Yeah.
one first, plant something in this one's head first,
Yep.
then plant one, and then kind of let it marinate, and then sometimes you get outvoted because sometimes we have a meeting about something, all agree on something. I go home, they have pillow talk, and come back, I
True.
get outvoted.
And you can tell.
Oh my God, I'm come back.
No,
like,
that works with you too. You go home
It
with
does.
Avery,
You come
and
back.
you come with these brilliant
I'm like,
ideas.
we did not discuss any
Exactly.
of this.
So it works
okay,
that
but
way.
the business is us three, and
That's
right.
true.
So
But that means that's even worse because that means she got influence. You know what I mean? She'd be like, no, don't go for that, Malcolm.
Malcolm would come in and
With a
he was
battery
like,
in his back.
Look, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Let me explain. He pull up like his whole plan or
Yeah.
so
strategic plan
What?
on what we're gonna do.
yeah, because because like we always are like checks and balances and stuff like that.
That's
so when
true.
you come with a plan, you have to come with everything kind
Yeah,
of throw it out,
everything, yes.
right? You have to like, okay, like I did this, I checked the price on this, I think we could do it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Check this, I think we could do it.
Oh, what about when we had the shop
Mm-hmm.
and most of our designs were like on vinyl where we had to do all the weeding. And remember we went to the trade show
Bro,
and
we found an easier
we
way.
found
The
it was
Holy
stalls.
Grail.
Yeah.
It was stalls.
The Holy Grail.
Stalls had the plastisol, which they call something else, but He just laid it down 7 seconds and peeled it off, and the beautiful colors that came out.
So like I
Absolutely.
mentioned, our process of printing shirts and prior, we were using the printers as well with the paper.
Yes.
Yep, print out a paper,
Oh,
heat it for a
yes,
minute,
yes.
5 minutes to do one
heat it for
shirt.
75 seconds after that,
Yeah.
peel it.
And then sometimes the peel will mess up.
Peel, oh,
Heat FX,
yo,
right?
so we messed up a lot of shirts.
Yeah, sometimes
Oh, remember the woke?
Uh,
Malcom, all day you was on phone with customer service.
Listen, like we had.
I was like,
and
send
then-
me a picture. I'm at work. I'm like,
Yeah, 'cause
what's going on?
Yeah, oh my
the
god.
color didn't come out correct, color grading.
Yeah, especially if y'all saw like our first sale, like if it was a camera kind of just watching our first sale, we were running around with chicken heads cut off, like.
What about the angel who came in?
Oh yes.
And okay, so we was trying to
Yes.
start our account with the
Distribution or to
Distribution,
pick
right.
up wholesale
Wholesale.
stuff.
exactly, and we had already opened the store.
No, we didn't open it yet. We told
We
people.
weren't ready,
We
right.
told people like 2 weeks, like, yo, we got the sale coming.
Yes.
And so we building up the site. We kind of getting designs ready. We practicing. We had equipment. We practicing, but we had no bulk shirts, no bulk hoodies.
We didn't know where we was
didn't know
going.
We was gonna go downtown. Remember, that was the plan. That was the original plan. We just gotta go downtown. And one of our subscribers,
Yes.
shouts out to her, she hit us up
Oh,
like
that
at the
was
last
a
minute.
blessing.
And
She
said,
opened
"Yo,
an account for us.
Yeah, she was like, yo, I work for this place.
She let us bypass all the process. We're not gonna shout her
Yeah.
out, but we was able to get that
Oh,
done.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, just the blessings.
So like it kind of just all fell
Yeah,
in place
everything
at
just
one
worked
time.
out.
It was crazy.
And along that process, guys, what I want to say is this: we had to learn to respect each other's space, but we had to learn to be assertive. Like Malcolm, I could tell early on, this is my dad. I don't really feel like going at him. And I had to say, bro, in business,
Right.
you get in where you fit in. I have no more stake in this than you do. And once he started seeing that, and that he can get at me and get at wifey and we get at each other, it made for better business. So if you're a family and you start a business, if the son is the one with the business degree and he knows about business, then it's nothing wrong with letting him step out in front and lead, and everybody else kind of playing their position, because you don't want egos getting involved. Where I'm dad. What the hell does that have to do with this business we're trying to run? So we were overwhelmed with t-shirts.
Oh my God.
One time we had a whole bunch of shirts out. We had a whole bunch of papers of orders.
And nothing matched.
And nothing matched what we had. And we were super confused, like, how is this even humanly possible?
So our quality control
Yes.
process was tight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we thought.
Yeah.
So we thought,
We look at the order, right? We would scan it, see what they want. Then you take that paper and we would pull everything.
yes,
We're checking it then, right? Then as you're making the shirt, you're looking at it again.
right.
Again, they want a small,
Mm-hmm.
white
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this design. I'm looking at it again. Then we would go over and fold it. We're looking at it again. I
Yes.
was like, Malcolm,
No, but-
where did this stuff come from?
But again, to our credit, like we did the sale how many times now? 4 times.
Yes.
Right. So the first time it was just kind of you do this order, I do this order.
Yes.
It wasn't a system we had.
Right.
So this goes against it, just how much we've just learned. Like we learned how to
Yes.
do a podcast, go live the right way where the stream is not dropping. Y'all probably watch how many
Oh, come on, man.
streams drop
Oh,
or
for
how
sure.
mouths not matching the words.
Or
and
we
stuff
come
like
on
that.
arguing.
Yeah,
Because I was supposed to hit the
something's
record button and he didn't do this.
Like,
Or and then we were using the camera we were using before when we first started our podcast was a Mevo camera, and that depended on Wi-Fi from the camera to iPad or camera to iPhone.
right.
Yes.
Right. It wasn't a direct connection to the computer.
Any mix up, it was a wrap.
So if one day technology and you guys, if technology is not, if something can go wrong, it will
It will go
Yes.
wrong.
go wrong, especially live, man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So you have to wear a number of hats. You got to be a technician, an audio technician. You got to be this sound, Wi-Fi connect. So now we use Ethernet
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The
And
top
we
of the
use,
line.
and we use a different
Yeah.
camera setup to the point where, and we're so we've worked so hard
Efficient,
on
yeah.
it. We've worked so efficiently on it.
Yes.
I was helping somebody with their live stream setup, and I'm showing them ours. She was like, "Yo, I go to a professional studio, and y'all's are way more
Advanced and
than
intricate.
theirs."
Yeah.
Wow.
It just again shows how far we've come.
Yeah.
So we started the audio podcast, we started the YouTube channel. We needed to make some money.
Yeah.
So that's what the t-shirt business was about. You know, supplementing our income and feeding our brand at the same time. Let's go back to the brand.
Yeah.
We had UrbanX. And the X
Stood for experience.
yeah, it was standing for but
A bunch of
The
things.
unknown.
a bunch of things, but we had to narrow it down because your brand is your narrative. That's your story. That's what people get behind. When people buy a t-shirt that even has Nike on it, they know that represents just do it. So we began to say, let's go back to the foundation and we're gonna call this urban excellence. So we still can use the X for other things, but if Black excellence was the destination, we looked at urban excellence as that journey, that step, them small victories that accumulate to where you can pop bottles if that's what you into. So we went, it was so much space available. You got to get in where you fit in. There was so much that we can use with urban excellence. That's why we started telling these stories, no matter how big, no matter how small, they all matter.
They do.
If your child graduated from college, that matters because you'll get people, oh, that ain't nothing because the education system. No, this might be the first person in that family that went to college. That is a trailblazer. So that needs to be commended. That needs to be honored. That needs to be respected. And we found our niche with doing that. We only had one rule on YouTube. We don't beef with nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, and this is early on in the YouTube channel. My dad, he did a video. I don't know what got into him this day.
Oh,
Yeah, he did
Remember
it.
that?
Yeah.
if that video is ever released.
Yeah, it's deleted. It's
Oh,
gone.
man.
Oh, okay.
It's gone.
I was so mad.
I don't know what you were fed up about.
No, when I came home from work, you showed me the video, and I said absolutely not.
Yeah, I remember going home, and then like usually if you guys remember, like our turnaround time for those videos was like 2 a week, like once a week. So we usually would do a video. I would go home. I would go from work because I was working full time, edit it, and I would just throw it right up. And I took an extra day on that. I was just like,
Yes.
I don't know about this one.
Yes.
Yeah, the spirit.
And he didn't say no names, but I feel like people would have known. Like people would have known.
Yeah, I was so fed up with the so-called conscious
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
at the time, and I felt I needed to bark on them. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it would have tossed us into a ring of
Right.
back and forth, and we only have one rule.
That was it.
Yeah.
Is that we
And
don't
the beautiful thing
engage.
is you're entitled
Right.
to vent, and I felt as though you were venting that day.
Yeah.
Got it off, and then
Yeah, and then
In pillow talk, you said,
Yeah.
"Boo, now that was cute. Let it go."
yeah.
yeah.
And I listened to my wife. I'm one of them
I
guys.
told Malcolm, you're gonna delete that.
Yeah, I just.
I didn't even
like,
want to watch it again.
Yeah, I
just Yeah.
like-
delete that.
So we deleted that.
So yeah.
And this journey began, and then we decided we're gonna leave. After show 50, we left.
Yes.
You know, even Eli was tired of doing his show. He said, "Dad, I'm out too." And then the people started calling, and you start realizing the effects that what you do have on other people, especially us being Virgos. We're service to others. That's just
Yeah, I was seeing people in the street, like they'll be on the phone, like, "Yo, you from UrbanX? Yo, what happened?" I was just like,
yeah. So after we got our breath back,
yeah,
we said, "You know what?" And then the Nipsey Hussle thing happened.
that happened. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
before that, we also realized how much the shop was suffering.
Yes, yes.
And how much that just all
Because
plays into everything.
By you being on the show once or twice a week, you know.
And people purchase from you out of relationships.
Yes. Yes.
They trust us. They trust that, okay, if I order something and it's not right,
Right.
they'll make it good. So we thank each and every one of you who have
yes.
purchased something
Yes.
because that is a relationship. So Nipsey Hussle passes away. And I sat back and people were going off. And I just said, something ain't right here. And Malcolm's like, "What you gonna do about it, Dad?" Basically, what you gonna say about it? And when I came back on fire.
Yeah.
250,000 subs.
Yeah.
I did 3 parts on it. And from there, I got my juices flowing again. I was back in the gym like, you know what? I still could do this a little something.
Yeah.
And we came back. And I don't know how long after that we went to 2 shows because...
We didn't go to 2 shows until after the lockdown started.
Okay, because we had a consultation with some professionals who looked at our YouTube channel and told us, you know, in this YouTube world, if you going once a week, that's because we would go off on Thursday and Friday something would happen and we'd have to wait all the way until next Thursday.
That was late.
And it'd be dry. Information is moving fast. So we went to twice a week and we had to commit to twice a week.
Yeah.
And my wife was still in corporate America at the time. We finally decided, when we started, we finally decided to open our super chat because we was adamant this ain't about money. And then I had to find ways to show Malcolm this can be financially rewarding. Like me and wifey, we gonna be okay, but you needed to see. So when you started seeing some YouTube money coming in, I said, okay, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough for you to go, okay, I see the potential. Haircut money and gas money, but you were still at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped you out. And then we just hit a groove. And in that groove, you know, your book, right before that, your book came out.
Right.
That was a big moment for us.
That was amazing.
You know what I mean? Because it wasn't a Black Dot book. It was a Malcolm book. And I'm going to be honest with you. When you told me you was interviewing 11 people, I was like, how dope can this shit be? Just sitting around, the way you crafted it and told their story.
Because I felt like I explained it to you.
Yeah, but explaining it and actually reading it.
And then I was picking you up on one, and then you came back in the car like all teary-eyed. I was like, what the hell? He said, I just read your man Dorian's story in the book. I didn't know you wrote it like that. I was like, yeah.
It was very touching, very riveting, and it just was an amazing body of work. And to see you open up your own book, knowing that we did that. So let's take inventory. We had a podcast, we had a YouTube channel, we had a t-shirt business. Malcolm drops his book.
Okay.
Right?
With the book, I want to mention for those who don't know, we go to print. Books come back. We had an editor look at it. Your mom looked at it.
I looked at it.
Yeah.
I'm all over it.
She's doing the cover. She did the cover.
I did the cover.
Yeah.
I'm looking and, just going through it with a fine tooth comb. Perfect.
Yeah.
Bing. Order.
300 copies.
300 copies show up at the door.
They come in.
Malcolm was crying.
Yeah, we do the video.
Big moment. And Tanya,
I looked down.
she looked down and was like, guys. And we was like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, look at the cover, bro.
Yep.
And it's just clear as day.
I said, and no, we looked at it.
And we still couldn't
no
figure it out.
one could find the error.
Except T.
It was forward.
Like
And
walking forward instead of forward to a book. And
right.
funny because I remember she actually did the formatting to the book, and when you guys like learn about how to actually publish a book, you have to get it formatted. So that's the line, making sure the chapters align with the pages and stuff like that, and the forward, because the forward was done by Steve Canal. Shout out Steve.
Shout out Steve.
And she said, okay, wait, that's the wrong forward. And she changed it in the book.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
In the book, it changed forward and on the table of contents, but not on the actual cover.
On the cover.
So that was rough, man. That was rough.
That was a rough
I had
moment.
to eat that.
That was rough.
I said, I'm going to
I
eat
think we
that.
all had to eat it
Yeah.
because we all looked at it.
Yeah, no, but I was like, I'm gonna, out of my money, I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
Fully.
yeah.
I mean, I felt it fell on me.
That was tough.
Yeah.
And so we did that. Along
Double
this
check.
process, when you're building a family business of any sort, when the roles are defined early, it helps. We looked at Malcolm. He's the young guy. He's the young gunner. He's got the young energy. So all the remedial stuff he has to do. My wife handled most of the finances. I know she got money sitting around. I told y'all that. She always got some money sitting around. And if I sell the story, Malcolm is learning this now. If I sell the story hard enough, she will give me the money. You know why? Because she believes in me overall. And when you got somebody in your corner that believe in you, sky's the limit. Now, me, I'm the big dreamer, but I'm also the problem solver. I spend many a nights figuring out how we gonna get more money, how we gonna fix some audio issues, how we gonna expand this. So all of our roles kind of became defined. We all interchanged though, because we all put money in, we all gotta do this and that, but our roles are defined. And when you call that first family meeting with the serious family members, you wanna allow things to naturally kind of develop. Now, your book comes out, Avery's pregnant.
Yes, as like this happened before. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The book come out, and we had this whole. First of all, if you came to the book signing, you were blown away. It's probably the best book signing I've ever been to.
Amazing.
We went all the way in. We showed up and we showed out, and then right after that, this COVID thing started coming. It started creeping up on us. We started hearing it. Kobe had passed.
And if you guys can go back, we
You
wanted to
talked about
we
it.
were one of the first ones
Yes.
to actually talk about
that.
it.
I
Yes.
was like looking
In
at
January.
the agenda.
Yep.
It was before, wasn't it in December?
It was we were one of the first ones
Malcolm
to
was
actually
like, oh, there's something called,
coronavirus. That was it. They just call it coronavirus.
Coronavirus in China. I
Mhm.
remember you mentioned something about China. I was like, what story is this?
Yes.
We look at the stories behind, before we come on. And I'm like, what? But I remember that when it actually took off.
And then the weird thing is you had the gender reveal.
Oh yes.
The very next
They
day,
shut everything down.
they shut everything down.
That's right.
Yep.
Meaning if
They
y'all had
did.
planned that 1 week later,
Yeah.
and you know what that means, not necessarily for you as a guy, but for Avery, a woman, this is her first baby, this is a huge, and spirit, ancestors worked in your favor for that. But then we were on lockdown. We had to put the book on hold.
Yeah.
We still got a baby coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
All
then this thing hit.
chaos.
And I think the defining moments for UrbanX was how we showed up for 6 to 8 weeks during that period when people needed us the most. I got on one of the t-shirts that we printed. Love, breathe.
No fear.
No fear.
Who's the other one?
Listen,
Breathe.
it was a couple.
Yeah.
It was important because we knew our world was watching, not the world. And if they saw us flinch, so we came on cool, we came on stoic. I had been prepared for this for 20-something years under the eldership and guidance. So, and I had been prepping my son and my wife. So we kind of had, don't get me wrong, I had my fearful moments.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when like 6 people I
It was
knew,
getting closer and closer
yes,
to
was
home.
died in 1 week. Then
Yeah.
Kalindi passed away, and Dr. Africa passed away, and Brother Muhammad from Mosque number 7 passed away. Then a good friend of me, so it started getting very, very close. But we felt it was our duty to get in front of our people and say, we don't believe you. You need more people.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? Funny enough, I got sick very early.
Yes.
Very early. I didn't know, and I didn't get tested. I don't know. I still don't know what it was, but I got sick.
Yes, and you isolated.
And my mother, and I got so depressed, right? Because my mother kept me in my room, got a baby on the way, so we're not even living together.
Right.
Got a baby on the way. I had a fever for a couple days. Everybody's locked down. So I'm like, damn, like what's gonna happen, right? Like this could be the end of everything, right?
Meanwhile, people, are dying.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody that passed, but I just, the fear, the fear machine was ramped, right? Every time you go on Twitter,
Don't turn the TV on.
every time it was just
Going
worse and worse
on.
news.
Yeah.
And then when I remember getting better, and then just more information came out. And prior to that, on the podcast, we would just kind of start to see things for what they were. And you had a moment where you felt you were scared. We all had our moments where it was kind of like, what is this, right? And then once we just kind of like got out that fog at the same time. Like, And then I would come home, I would come here, and then like we would just talk about these things out loud. I'm like, this don't make sense.
And we never abandoned common sense.
Yeah, it was like something's not right about this.
I had to get on a couple of wellness calls with some of my closest people.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure. Because remember, I'm a high risk.
Yeah.
I'm already in a dialysis center around people who are sick all the time. So I represent a very high risk but my spirit said, no, Dot, the ancestors ain't ready for that kind of, you know what I'm saying, for you to come and do that kind of work on the other side yet. And we never abandoned common sense.
Yeah.
And I get calls to this day from nurses, from a whole bunch of people go, yo, I want to thank you guys because y'all got me through some hard times. I tuned in and saw y'all chilling, Dot still telling jokes.
Laughing, yeah.
Right,
Still laughing. And I think that's when I really knew the importance of us and our audience and what it is that we do.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? So we was getting through that. And, you know, once we came out of that and everybody kind of said, okay, you know, we still gonna make it. We still had visions and dreams to do things.
And we doubled down. Like we went 2 shows a week.
Yes,
You know what
we
I'm saying?
started
Like,
doubling
we started
down.
Doubling down. Like this is how much we believe in.
And
this.
the Hulk. We was doing the Hulk.
Yes.
Don't forget that. We was
Yes.
doing the Hulk.
That was like we didn't like back off. We kind of just went straight forward. Like we went head down, just went straight through it.
Like, what's next?
And we want to thank you guys for staying with us, because you guys are everything.
Yeah.
So don't listen to me when I talk about I'm leaving, because I love you guys too much.
He just thinks out loud.
I'm just venting.
Little fatigue.
So Malcolm had this vision to put together this online course after that. And it was long and lengthy, and he's a dreamer like his dad, and I love it. Because I don't always have to play the front role of anything I do. I get off on watching other people pursue their dreams. And the reason I don't go in business with people, because it's very hard to match my passion. I'm willing to put every dime I have up on the table if I believe it's going to work. And when people's perception of money, due to give you $500 and expect you to work the world with that, or I need my money back. I've been starting businesses my whole life. So if I do succeed at one, my people who know that, oh, he's been doing that his whole life. I finally hit and so forth. So, you know, we started crafting it, you know, laying it out and what it was going to be. Noble showed up.
Yes.
No, and what me and T was trying to prepare you for was this is not just going to be an easy, oh, I got the baby and no.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Malcolm was like, I'll see you guys in like 2 weeks. I'm going to take
we was
2
like,
weeks off.
okay, no, you're not.
We was like, when he closed the door and left that day, I remember.
To go have the baby.
Yeah.
We said
I was
he has
like, his
no
life
idea.
will never be the same.
He
has no clue.
No clue.
Yeah.
And so that came about, and it's only 3 of us, 2.5. If one of us is down, because remember, you know, what I go through for the last 18 years, some days I just can't get out of bed. And Malcolm and them, they worry about me, but they go, let him rest, he'll get his strength back. And then Malcolm has a baby, so he can't work or, you know, be as efficient. And just when we started hitting this fucking, a nice fucking groove again, I mean, we was in this groove.
It's just all happening.
And then, come to find out, my wife got cancer in her breast. Don't ask me why I'm motherfucking stressed. Okay? Don't ask me why I'm stressed. And we still had to come on and act like it was all good. I remember Malcolm finding out. He was blown away.
Yeah, that was something.
You know, so we took another hit. And this hit was personal because we all lean on this lady.
Yeah.
We lean on this lady hard. And cancer's something that eats at you. So I want you to think about this. Her firstborn son is disabled. Her husband is disabled. Her mom's is disabled. And yet she still got to keep a smile on her face. She still was going to work. And then her own personal demons. And it hit her head, man. And for the first time, I didn't know what to do. I wish I could take it for you.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm built for that shit.
Yes.
I'm fucking built for that. So.
But so am I.
I know.
So am I.
I know. So we had to put things on hold.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So with the show, I don't know if you remember, but Odyssey was covering for me.
Yes, and remember
she had to take a crash course.
And then remember,
it was like 6 months ago.
In the after show, we started giving Mama Dot a mic
Right.
And then it just abruptly stopped.
Yeah. And people were just like, yo, what happened?
Because she just couldn't.
My voice, you would hear it. You can hear.
She couldn't go through it.
It was a lot.
And
It was a lot.
I had to, even though I'm coming from dialysis and I'm tired, I got to run this house now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to do what my wife would do to the best of my ability. And I failed in some areas.
You did awesome.
I know, but I tried my best to finally cater to her needs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Malcolm is just like, damn, what the fuck is going on? And then
We were getting ready to put out Real Mentality.
Right. So
And we
Dollar
was
Bill,
charged-
what's his name? The God's name?
Mega Bills.
Mega Bills. All of this was happening during that time.
All at the same
We
time.
apologize to you. And then one day I was just sitting on the bench, man, and I hit Malcolm with the FaceTime, and he knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
I was having a very, very dark moment of, just the idea of maybe losing my wife. So we went through our battles. My wife handled that shit like a trooper.
Like a G.
Lost 55 pounds and shit. Started doing what she, needed to be
What I
doing.
was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Absolute no radiation, no chemo, none of that shit. And just started fighting her battle to the best of her ability.
Yeah.
And so what do you want to say about that? That's your story, Paul.
Listen, I want to say that rocked me to the core.
Yeah,
Because my role is to take care of everybody else.
exactly.
I'm here to make sure you're good and the babies are good and just everything. And for the first time in my life, I had to stop and think about myself.
Yes.
So that's my takeaway. I had to look at my mindset, right? So I had to look at my diet. I had to look at my spirituality. What am I here to do?
Yeah.
And I already know I have a wonderful, holistic network around us, amazing people over the years. And it was just about going deep inside and dealing with what I needed to deal with. I had to get up under my bed as a little girl.
Yes.
I used to tuck things away, throw it under the bed. My mother said,
Yeah.
clean up your room. I tuck everything under the bed.
Make it look clean.
Right, make it look clean. And what did I do? I started pulling everything out from under the bed. And I had to close the noise and, make my circle even smaller,
Yeah.
because I had to be in the right state of mind because only I knew what I needed to prepare my body to go through.
Absolutely.
And, did that, changed my diet immediately. In 1 month's time, I lost like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Stop eating the garbage.
Because that's
emotional eating.
Emotional eating.
Yeah, I saw a picture recently, like prior to that. I was like, damn, like you look completely different.
Yeah.
I was
like,
just like, damn.
oh my God.
You don't realize it until you see.
Until you see it before and after.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then the good thing that I see, it was like not a sick look.
No,
Right.
It was more healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Healthy.
Oh, you mean after?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I look back and
Yeah.
compare the pictures, it's like more healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I'm on my journey, my quest, but definitely, take care of yourself.
Yeah, we've been 3-man weaving.
Yeah.
Again, like you said,
No.
some days he's tired and he just don't have it.
Yes.
When I first had Noble, I felt so bad because I was if I was at a regular job, they'd have fired me.
They fired a long time
yeah.
ago.
They'd have fired me. Like
Long
I was
time ago.
so just
yeah.
incompetent. Like stuff I was supposed to have done, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was bad. And then when you went down, we just had to
It was like,
3-man
then-
weave it.
yes.
And then
Spurs 3, man.
and then we all caught COVID.
We all
Oh, yeah, I did.
Except Malcolm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. Oh my God.
We all caught,
Yeah.
and when I tell you we caught a bad case of COVID,
I have never been that sick
In my life.
In my life.
Yeah.
Odyssey caught it first
Yep.
from school.
No,
right.
she went to
She
Florida.
went to Florida.
Oh, she went to Florida
Yeah.
to some big
Big
Coachella
event.
shit.
Yeah.
Yep, around all them fucking people. She
Came
caught
back.
the shit.
Yeah.
She got sick.
Yep. And then when she got better, and I remember, even at my dialysis center, about 3 or 4 technicians caught that shit.
Yes, it was going
So
around.
the shit was just going
Yeah.
around, And me, Eli, around my birthday, if y'all remember, we was 3-man weaving. We took 4 or 5 weeks off. We made it seem like it was other things.
It was too.
It was other things too. It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we was able to get that off. And when I tell you, I've never been, we was already had the zinc. We already had the colloidal silver.
We had ordered a whole
We had
package.
already been taking all of that.
Yeah.
And the shit still hit like a monster. When I tell you,
sick before.
never.
I went to sleep on a Sunday. We got up, we did the show on Monday. I woke up Wednesday and was like, the only thing I remember was going to sleep on Sunday. I
Yeah.
don't even remember being up. I lost like 2-3 days.
And we even went away
Yeah,
For
where
your
were we
birthday.
going?
for my birthday.
Yeah.
And it was the
this-
worst trip ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was literally the worst trip
For
ever.
one, I didn't know it was a 3-hour drive.
Yes.
I thought it was an hour away. We went to like Connecticut gambling. And we stayed in bed the whole time.
We stayed in bed the whole time.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to take inventory
Yes.
of that.
Yes.
And slowly but surely we got better.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
stronger. The real mentality still didn't come out.
It's coming.
All of
it's coming.
the online course that Malcom wanted to present to you guys had to get pushed back
So long.
so
But
long.
it's here.
Yeah.
It's here.
But now it is finally
here.
here.
Yes.
I'm gonna clap that up.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it's a culmination of just all you've heard, all we've learned,
Congratulations.
all shared experience,
Yes.
all about like the kind of values that you've learned and built and tried to live by along the way. We've tried to package it in a way that you guys, when you take it, you guys can see it and just apply it to anything that you're trying to do. And we started off with the areas that we are proficient in. Right?
Yeah, we don't just walk the walk.
Right.
Right, we
And
do
we're
it.
not just talk the talk. We walk.
We do
We
it.
only gave you what it is we've
that
been
we
through.
do, that we've learned and that we've done, right? So, and that was big on me. And then the reason why it took so long is because I wanted to just pack it with so much value
Yes.
that you don't feel cheated. Like
Right.
you feel
And I'm
like, yo,
if we're gonna do it, give it up.
Yeah.
Because what I don't like is when I take a course.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out because there's one little thing. For example, I took a course on some shirt printing process. And she never said what kind of paper she was using. It was a special paper you needed. And she kind of just pulled it out. It went into the printer. It came out beautiful. I said, that's not like, what paper is that?
Absolutely.
Come to find out, it's like some subliminal paper that you need. But I was just like, tell us
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It
we-
wasn't in the description.
we gave
So
it
I'm
up.
like, if we're going to do it, let's give it up.
This has been a labor of love.
Yeah,
Yes.
we gave it up.
We thank you for your continued support of what we go
Yes.
through. We want to inspire you in spite of all of that we've been through. We're still here. We're still fighting. We're still strong. We're still trying to build this empire. Shout out to my oldest son, Marcus, who took a delve into real estate. He also goes around to schools and teaches young children financial literacy. We're going to do a mini documentary on Marcus. Odyssey has chose to put her services into becoming a nurse or social worker for the time being. We're going to get into some social media stuff.
Yeah, she need to be here.
Yeah.
And
We
so-
let her have
in front of
fun.
the camera.
Yeah,
Have fun.
and as you know what Eli doing, so we are truly a family business. And let me tell
And
you,
even the whole family, right? So it's my dad, it's my stepmom, and my mom
absolutely.
has input. Like,
And she got a bomb getting ready to drop.
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
when we were like working on the book cover, and I just did not know what I wanted for the book cover.
Yeah.
And then you
different
came up
stuff.
with like 6 or 7 different concepts, and I showed my mom. I was like, "Mom, what you think?" And then she was just like, "Yo, like when I think of like UrbanX," and then she came up with the actual cover
Yeah.
concept, and then you put it
And
together.
I
So
was
it's
like, all right, let's do it.
literally a book business by committee. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Everybody
for
has
sure.
some type of input. When Odyssey's in town, she folds shirts.
Yeah.
She does.
You know what I'm saying? Like we get her to work.
Inventory.
When I was away on paternity leave, Marcus came in and filled in for
Yes.
me on the show.
Yes.
Odyssey, Eli came in, filled in for me. So we
Yes.
we live our raps. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
and like I said, his mom's is getting ready to drop a major heat rock
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
gonna
Got
rock
that
the math
coming.
world.
that she consult with us, like you know what I'm saying. She
Oh,
got
yeah.
us. You know what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
So
Whatever you need, let's do it.
we tried to have.
And your aunt Sophia has some
Yes,
things
she has her
coming.
thing.
She has something coming.
And that's another thing. While we wanted to, even when we promote other businesses on our podcast, we like to promote small Black businesses because we understand just how this thing goes, and if we can give somebody a leg up, because we could be charging way much.
Yeah, we
way
had a
more.
consultant with one of the professionals who's a millionaire who
just
told
like-
me, that's your price? He tried to just buy the whole year out. He said, your prices are too low. And I had to explain to him, technically you're correct, but we're trying to take first-time businesses, small businesses who are still learning and put them in front of an audience so they can collect data, so they can find out what they did right, what they did wrong, do some business.
Yeah.
And we're always gonna do that. I don't care what we do, that price is gonna remain the same because for those businesses, because this is about service to others. Know that if you got it together, you know what? UrbanX is gonna give me a shot to come in front and put my product out there and allow the people to say, look, I'm interested in that, because we get rave reviews from the people we help. Last thing I want to say about the family business is if the worst thing you do is bring your family together and y'all don't even make no money, but the family has started to come together, you winning. We got to put our petty differences aside. Your sister might be a goddamn genius at marketing, but you ain't talking to her because of something that happened at the Thanksgiving dinner 7 years ago and this and that. We have to, because the true revolutionary act is building the family and allowing us, because we might be on lockdown again. And we got to be able to do commerce, and we have to be able to come together and trade what it is that we do with other families. And worst case scenario, as one of the principles we wrote in the free ebook that'll be available to you soon, you can hit the link below, is we talked about the family hacks. I started just calling family meetings just to call family meetings, just to get everybody in the same room.
dramatic too.
Yeah, just to get everybody
We need to get together and talk.
talk.
Y'all.
And then once we get together, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna find out how everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Everybody has dreams, aspirations.
Catch up.
So this is our UrbanX story. We wanted to share it with you.
Yes, guys.
And fill in some blanks for you. So, know that it's three of us.
Yeah,
And,
listen,
That's
and
it.
we go at it too.
Oh, yeah.
We go at it, but
Yes.
it makes us better, and we learn so much about each other
I know.
Yes.
during this
Like
process.
watching you grow.
Yeah,
man.
I
Yes.
So proud of Malcolm.
Yes.
At the very beginning, his patience level was
With solving problems. He would
I
lose
was
it.
like, Malcolm, just figure it out.
I quit the
Take
show
your
so many
time.
times
Yeah.
because it was
He was like, I just don't know how to do it. Remember the time you
I was
walked out?
Yeah.
I was like,
And that's why Noble also is going to teach him patience.
Yes.
And now even when he deals with customers, because Malcolm don't really like to deal with customers, he's much more patient and understanding
Yes.
of what their needs are. If we have some technical stuff,
Yeah.
I don't see him flustered no more.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
on the
not
show,
anymore, yeah.
on the show, he's taking his rightful place.
That's
Dad,
right.
stop.
Yeah.
You're going too far with this shit. Calm down. And his own voice.
We
And that's
used to always say,
all
"You
we
crossed
really
the
wanted.
line."
Is his own voice to be heard and not try to be a junior of me. Have your own voice, your own opinion, your own thoughts. And that's what we are. We love you. We've been looking forward to this course to get this thing going.
Yes.
Yes, much success to you and your family business.
Yes.
I want to say I'm very proud of my gentlemen here, my kings. Yep, keep up the good work, and we have a lot more to come.
Yes.
And I'm gonna need some more of that money soon. So.
No more money.
There's some more money. Some money somewhere, T. Come on, stop playing. No, but we here. We love you.
Yes.
And we'll see you when the next episode pops. And we thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.